Good morning to all of you. Today we have to be start with the topic of analysis of common source amplifier without source resistor. But before this topic, we have little bit take a quick revision of the last lecture of electronic circuits. In the last lecture, we have learned AC equivalent circuit and how to draw the small signal equivalent circuit. Today we would learn the implementation of the small signal equivalent circuit of the MOSFET transistor in amplifiers. So basically, as per our syllabus, we have to be elaborate this concept with the configuration of common source amplifier. But if you have see the common source amplifier, there is a two different analysis for the two different conditions. First is without source resistor. So we start with this particular point, analysis of common source amplifier without source resistor. So this is the circuit diagram of common source circuit with voltage divider biasing and coupling capacitor. You are familiar with this, okay? Now, if we have to be move forward, and if you have to be see there, in this particular circuitry, the signal is coming from the signal generator or AC signal source, and that is here nothing but this particular VI, okay? And this signal is a time varying signal, and it would be coupled into the gate of the transistor through this coupling capacitor CC. And the property of this coupling capacitor is that it would be provide a DC isolation between the amplifier and the signal source. So generally we use function generator or signal generators to generate the AC signal, and it would having a AC signal that may be consist of some DC values along with the AC signal. So this coupling capacitor having the function to isolate or discard totally the DC component. Only it would be allow the AC component or AC signal. So at the gate terminal of the MOSFET, it would be only receive the AC signal that is coming from the signal generator. Okay, but to act as an amplifier, this transistor should be biased in the saturation region. As we know that from the operation of the MOSFET, to work as an amplifier, your transistor should be biased in the saturation region. So here you can also see this transistor is biased in the saturation region by means of these two resistors, that is called the biasing resistor. First one is R1 and second one is R2. Okay, and whatever the DC level set by these two biasing resistors, means the value of the Q point, that would be not disturbed by this AC signal coming from the voltage source VI. Okay, now we have to be see the signal source is sinusoidal voltage at a frequency of F. Then the magnitude of the capacitor impedance is what? Can anyone tell me the value of the magnitude of the capacitor? We have already learned this. This is ZC or XC. XC is reactance, ZC is impedance. Either of the variable you can use is equal to 1 upon 2 pi FC. Here the coupling capacitor is CC, so it would be FCC. So here you can see that this capacitor impedance is inversely proportional to the frequency of the signal. That's why it would be reject the DC, because DC signal having the frequency 0. So impedance would be infinite. So it would be act as an open circuit and it does not allow the pass of the DC signal. But for the AC signal that is having some finite frequency, this impedance would be decreased to from infinite to a finite value and a very small value. Because of that, it would be act as a short circuit for the AC signal and would allow the passage of the AC signal through it. So for all this analysis, we have to be first assume that our transistor is biased in the saturation region with the help of the biasing resistor R1 and R2, and the signal frequency F, it is sufficiently large so that your coupling capacitor would be act as a short circuit for the AC signal. These are the some assumption or conditions is required to implement this amplifier circuit. Now, when you have to be going to convert this common source amplifier circuit into the equivalent small signal equivalent, the first process is that you have to be represent this circuit with the means of Thevenin's equivalent circuit. So in the Thevenin's equivalent circuit, the voltage source Vi would be in series with the equivalent source resistance RSI. Okay. And what is the RSI here? If you have to be see from the circuit diagram, it would be more clear. If you have to be see this circuit diagram, in this circuit diagram we have not mentioned the RSI. RSI is a source resistance. Which source resistance? The resistance, internal resistance associated with this voltage source, maybe a signal generator or function generator. So every device having some internal resistance, so it is also having the internal resistance that always shown in series with this voltage source. So you can show the resistance here like this. That is a RSI, that is signal source resistance, and it is having very small value. It is always in series with the Vi. So here you can see this equivalent source resistance RSI. But the value of the RSI is very low. It is very low value, much less than the input resistance or input impedance of the amplifier. What is the input impedance of the amplifier? That is R1 parallel R2, means biasing resistance, the parallel equivalent. Okay, so RSI is always less than Ri. Why it is happen so? To avoid the any kind of loading effect. Now, in the next diagram, you will be see the small signal equivalent circuit and the small signal variables. Instead of a small v and a small I, we have used the phasor representation here. See, here you can see, do not confuse this representation. It is not a DC, it is a AC signal. It is a phasor representation. Either you can also use a small v suffix small I. Both are same. Now, this is the small signal equivalent circuit that we have also learned yesterday. The same circuit, because it's the same common source amplifier we have taken. Okay, so how to draw this particular circuit? In the yesterday video, I have seen that particular part that I taught you. The drawing method of this diagram has been missed out. So for that purpose, I have not uploaded the video on the YouTube, but today I would be a companion video along with the yesterday lecture would be upload. That would be teach you that how to draw this circuit. Okay. But now I will be just give you the steps to draw. The first step to draw such kind of equivalent circuit is that first of all you have to be draw the equivalent small signal equivalent circuit for the MOSFET transistor only. So what are the components of the MOSFET transistor if you have to be see in this diagram? That is separated by some boundary. This is a red color. So this G is the gate terminal, then we have to be indicate the drain, then you have to be indicate the source. Okay. So both the terminal you have to be indicate here. Okay. So in this case, if you have to be see in between these two red boundaries, this is the representation of the transistor only. So in between gate and source, we know that MOSFET is having the infinite input impedance, so it would be also always a open circuit. Okay. Then a voltage between the gate to source is VGS, that is shown here. Then if you have to be see drain to source, there is a voltage difference with the VDS, that is shown here. These are parallel branches, so we have to be show the VDS here. And between the drain to source, we have also taken a finite output resistance R0, that is shown between the drain to source terminal, and a current ID is flowing from drain and would be reached to the source. So this ID current having the direction from drain to source. Still the voice is breaking, or it is clear now? Hello. Still breaking?
There is some network issue.
I think now it is clear. Okay. So this current would be flow from drain and reach to the source, and we have already defined the value of current in terms of transconductance GM and input voltage VG. So first of all, your duty is to draw this small signal equivalent circuit, that is a representation of your N channel MOSFET. After that, you have to be include the circuit components. So what are the circuit components? If you have to be see from the circuit diagram, what are the circuit components are there? The circuit components are, if you have to be see, the circuit components are what? The circuit components are your biasing resistor, that is starting from the VDD and end to the source. So that is, we have represented a single resistance, that is a value of R1 parallel R2. It is coming from the gate terminal and ends to the source terminal or the ground terminal. And the left hand side of this, you have to be see, there is a capacitor CC1, coupling capacitor. So capacitor would be acting as short circuit here, so it would be not indicate on the small signal equivalent circuit, so it would be shown here as a short circuit. Okay. Now the left side of the coupling capacitor there is in the circuit is source resistance RSI, very small value. It would be shown in series with the voltage source VI. So in this way, after drawing the small signal equivalent circuit of the MOSFET, you can draw the rest of the part of the circuit. So here first we have learned the input section of the circuitry. After drawing the input section of the circuitry, we have to be moved to the output side. In the output side, only the drain resistance is present in the circuitry. So that is RD connected between the VDD to drain terminal. So we know that all the DC sources first grounded. So VDD is grounded here for drawing the small signal equivalent circuit. So that's why the RD would be now connect between drain terminal here and ground. So drain to ground, there is the RD is connected. So in this way, you can draw a small signal equivalent circuit, assuming the coupling capacitor as a short circuit for the common source amplifier. Okay, clear? Now, we know that drain terminal would be responsible for the output voltage and gate terminal for the input voltage. Okay. Now we have to be see from which particular point we would be calculate the output resistance and input resistance. Okay. So that would be also indicate here. In this case, you have to be see that R1 parallel R2, that is Ri, it is very much larger than the RSI. So Ri would be calculated only because of these two resistor R1 parallel R2. Okay. And output side, the output resistance would be calculated by means of only drain resistance. Okay. So R0 is nothing but RD parallel to the finite output resistance of the MOSFET. Now we have to be moved to the next. The input and output resistance of the amplifier can be determined from that figure. And input resistance here we have already defined R1 parallel to R1 R2. And since the low frequency input resistance looking into the MOSFET is essentially an infinite, that's why the input resistance is only a function of bias resistance. There is no role of RSI here. Similarly, when you have to go for the output side, so your R0, how to determine the R0? How to determine R0? By first condition, you have to be make zero the Vi, source value voltage should be 0, so that your VGS would be 0. Now only the output part of the circuitry would be remaining because input side is 0, becomes 0 because of the VGS is 0. So here R0 would be equal to now RD parallel R0. Small R0 is a finite output resistance. Okay. So this is the way that how to calculate the parameters Ri, R0, like. Now we are going to move how to calculate the voltage gain of this amplifier. This is the main objective for analysis of any amplifier. So for that purpose, first of all, we have to write the equation of output voltage, then input voltage, and just take a division of output upon input, that is the voltage gain. So as we know that source is at the ground potential, so there is no body effect. So the output voltage would be what? V0 is equal to minus Gm VGS R0 parallel RD. So how this voltage has come? We have to just take a quick look from the small signal equivalent circuit diagram. Here you can see V0. This is your V0. V0 is the voltage between the drain to ground terminal. Okay. So how you have to be calculate? According to Ohm's formula, the current through the drain terminal and the resistance across drain and source. Okay. So this current is ID, that is flowing through the drain to source, and the resistance across the output terminals are capital RD parallel small R0. That is in combined we have to be written as capital R0 is equal to R0 parallel capital RD. Okay. So when you have to be replace this particular resistance by the one resistance, that is called R0 here. So for sake of simplicity, you have to just forget this. RD is here, and consider this resistor as R0 parallel RD by one resistor, and across this resistor what is there? There is a current is flowing ID. But what is the direction of flow of current ID is there? The ID is flowing in this direction from drain to source like this, and then it would be coming to this end, and this is the positive terminal and this is the negative one. So current is flowing opposite to the polarity of the equivalent resistance R0. So what would be there? V0 is equal to minus ID R0 parallel RD, and ID is what? Minus GM. So ID is GM VGS, so it would be considered as minus GM VGS R0 parallel RD. Okay. Now you would be understand that how this formula has, or how this equation has defined from the circuit diagram. Is it clear? Is it clear to all of you? Is it clear to all of you?
Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you. Now, the input gate to voltage, we have to also calculate the input gate to voltage, gate to source voltage, that is the input voltage actually. Then and then only we have to be calculate the voltage gain. So for this purpose, you have to be write the equation of VGS, that is depend upon the source voltage Vi and the input resistance of the amplifier as well as the source resistance RSR. See how this could be happen from this circuit diagram. If you have to be see here, in this case, VGS is what? VGS is what? This is your VGS, and this is smaller as compared to this Vi. This is the larger voltage as compared to this. Now, if you have to be see this structure from this end to this end, up to this end, what do you have to be imagine? You would be see that as the gate terminal, there Ig is 0, so there is no current is flowing. Ig is 0, so there is no current is flowing here. So whatever the current that would be flow from this side, that would be on this particular loop only. This would be not come here. There is no current flowing here. So now you can consider RSI and R1 parallel R2, both are in series, and your supply voltage is Vi for this case, and the VGS is what? VGS is a voltage drawn between R1 parallel R2 terminal. So this is your VGS, the voltage drop across R1 and R2. Okay. Now you have to find out this. So apply the potential division rule. So according to potential division rule, VGS is equal to what? R1 parallel R2 means Ri. Here you have to tightly write Ri actually. So Ri upon Ri plus RSI into Vi. That is written here. You can see Ri upon Ri plus RSI into Vi. Okay. Now we have calculated input gate to source voltage. We have calculated output voltage. Now it is easy to find out the voltage gain. The voltage gain is your AB is equal to V0 upon Vi. That is equivalent to minus GM R0 RD. VGS term would be nullified, and Ri into Ri plus RSI. So this is the equation of the voltage gain. This is very important equation. For solving the numerical, this formula would become into the picture. Just write it down as well as remember it always. Now here you can see We have also defined the AC drain current minus ID RD. Okay. DC already we have defined that Kn VGS minus VTN whole square. Now, what I have told you that to minimize the loading effect, RSI should always be RSI. It is always less than as compared to RI. What is the benefit of this? It would be increase the gain. See here. Here the gain is having this factor. If RSI is very much smaller than RI, so this would be neglected here. RI would be cancelled out. So only the gain would be minus GM R naught parallel RD. You can remember this formula also. Okay. So most of the numerical this formula would become minus GM R naught parallel RD. That's enough. So in this way we have to be modify the voltage gain formula in lots of the cases. This is the now DC load line and transition point that is indicating the separation of saturation region and the non-saturation. Here you can see in the diagram, this is the transition point. Below of this is the area of the saturation region and this is the area of the non-saturation region. Here in the saturation region, your transistor would be act as an amplifier. So whatever the analysis we have done till for common source amplifier, our Q point always should be in the saturation region. And who is responsible here for the Q point position? The resistor R1 and R2, biasing resistor R1 and R2. Okay, so you can see here, and this Q point should always in the middle of this saturation region, so that you would be get a good amplifier. Means the response or voltage swings offered by this circuit would be maximum, and your gain would be maximum. That is mentioned here. In order to provide the maximum symmetrical output voltage swing, keep the transistor biased in the saturation region, and Q point should be near the middle of saturation region. This is a very important note. At the same time also we have to maintain the input voltage signal as small as much possible. Okay. Why we have to keep the signal small? Because to act as a linear amplifier. If you would be increase the input voltage signal, then there would be a problem of clipping of the signal would be there, or maybe a problem of distortion of the signal. Okay, so that would be keep in your mind, and keep the input voltage source as small as possible. Now we have to see the second configuration in the same series, common source amplifier with the source resistor. So here you can see the difference of the circuitry. What is the difference between the previous circuit and this circuit? The difference is here we have taking the effect of RS. We have connected the RS here. Okay.
So Rajaratna
Hello. Please mute yourself. I have also shared the attendance of the Google form to your group. You can also go and fill this attendance. Okay. Source assistant. So here you can see that the difference is why we have to be RS is there. So a source assistant RS, why we have connected the RS here, and what is the purpose of this RS? If you have to be see, RS would be increase the stability of the Q point, because Q point depend upon the transistor parameters. What is the coordinate of the Q point? IDC, IDQ and VDSQ depending upon the VGSQ. So all these parameters is related to some transistor parameter. So when the transistor parameter would be vary, maybe the position of Q point could be changed. And if the position of the Q point would be changed, it could be shift from the saturation region to the non-saturation region. So to avoid this problem, we have to be connect the RS. So you can see here the conduction parameter, for example Kn, it would be changed as you would be change the transistor, because it would be depend upon the manufacturing of the transistor. If the same value of the same number, suppose 2 and 7000, it would be made from either ST Microelectronics, either it is made from the VSA. Different company make the same transistor and they have the little bit differences in the value of Kn. So if you would be change the transistor, maybe your same number of transistor would be show you the different value of Q point. So it would be raise some issue regarding the reliability of the amplifier. Okay, so to avoid this kind of the situation, we have to be use the source resistor. It would be stabilize the Q point, but your Q point would be stabilized with the sacrifice of the voltage gain. When you add the source resistor in the circuit, your voltage gain will decrease by the factor of IDRS. Additional drop is there. So this is the equivalent circuit of the common source amplifier with source resistor. You have to be noted down. It is little bit different from the previous one. So how to draw this? Again, same procedure is there. First of all, you have to be draw the transistor equivalent circuit. So for this purpose, you have to first indicate the gate, then drain, then in bottom source is there. One more thing, here the source is not ground. Source is not ground. Between the source and ground there is a resistor RS. So that in this circuit equivalent diagram, we have not connected the source terminal to the ground. There is a RS in between them. Ground and the source, there is a RS. Okay. Now, same representation, VGS. ID is represented from the drain to source, that is GM VGS. We have considered some ideal case and neglect the effect of R0. Okay. For simplification of the circuitry. Then input side we have to be know that there is the equivalent resistance Ri, R1 parallel R2. This is between the gate terminal and ground. In the previous case, source is connected to ground, that's why it is in the same. But now you have to be draw this terminal up to this ground terminal. Skip out the source. Okay. And again the voltage source, that is in between the gate and ground again, and the RD, that is between the drain and ground. So this is change would be occur because of this RS. Obviously, when this RS is connected with the source and ground, there will be change in the formula also of voltage gain. So see
here for the voltage gain. Hello. Now you can see here the small signal output voltage formula is what? That is V naught is equal to minus GM VGS into RD. That would be easily defined from this section. If you have to be see here, V naught is what? That is drain current. This drain current would be start from there and come to minus here RD in opposite direction. So it would be minus ID RD, and ID is what? Minus GM VGS RD. That is your V naught. And now write the KVL equation from input around the gate source loop. So we have to be also find out the value of VI. Now the value of VI is changed. It is VGS plus GM VGS. How this formula comes? You can see here easily. Very quick look. What is VI? VI is the voltage between gate terminal to ground. So it is a summation of VGS plus the voltage drop across RS. So what is the voltage drop across RS is there? This current ID, GM VGS current is flowing across this. So it is GM VGS into RS. Okay. So this is shown here. So VGS is equal to VI upon 1 plus GM RS. So stop, we have to be stopped here now because the time is very less. In the next lecture, we would be continue the same. So please revise up to this point. In the next lecture, we have to be continue this topic. Okay. Thank you all of you for joining the lecture.